So today we are talking about 5 things that if they happen you should tell your attorney. These are 5 things that when we find out about them way after the fact, we try to figure out in our mind how best to go, why didn't you tell me that before, in a voice that doesn't quite reveal our panic and incredulity, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so number 1 is if you move, you stop getting mail, if your phone goes out of service,
Yeah.
like if your phone gets shut off for for 3 days because you didn't pay the bill or whatever, I guarantee you those 3 days will be desperately trying to get a hold of you.
Yes.
Or if you change your telephone number. So why, I'll play devil's advocate, Rhonda. Why is it important that I should let my attorney's office know that I'm no longer living where I used to be?
Okay, well, for one thing, it may cause you to need medical treatment transferred somewhere else. If you've moved far away, you may need a new provider, and obviously the goal here is to get a person better from their work injury. So that would be the first thing we could help get: transfer of care. Secondly, we need to be able to reach them to tell our client what's going on in the case. There could be again, needs for where do we send your money? We might be getting checks in our office and we need to forward money. We might need to inform the client of an examination that the insurance company is ordering to have happen. We have court dates that we may need to update our client on. So there's so many things that we need to be able to communicate.
Yeah, we basically need to be able to get a hold of you.
Right.
So if you change your email, your phone number, your address, please let us know. Number 2. What do you think number 2 is? It's like the Family Feud, but
probably getting offered work.
Or starting or stopping work.
Or starting and stopping work, yeah.
So if anything changes with your employment, if you start working and you weren't working before, particularly if you're getting work comp benefits, or if you're off work but your employer's offered you a job, or if you start making less or earning less, if you get fired, any sort of change in your employment, guess what? We need to know why.
Again, it can affect benefits, and especially in the sense of if you're on temporary disability benefits, temporary total, and that means you're not working at all, and your employer offers you a job and you don't go back, you could have all of your benefits cut off, and so it's that's a very serious step. Or if you resign from your current position, and don't get the follow-up job, or not making as much money, or we have to know that has transpired, because it will affect current receipt of benefits.
Or if you are off work on workers' compensation, getting biweekly checks, and then you start working somewhere else.
Right,
Well, hey, that's even better, because
decide.
then I get my wage and I get this off.
Yeah, no.
No.
You can't collect lost wages while you're working. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's called fraud,
That's
right?
called fraud.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, we can't have that happening.
Yeah, we need to know. All right, number 3 is,
You stop getting medical care? Oh, what's
okay,
your
let's
number
do
3?
my number 3 was Social Security, but you think
okay.
of medical care? Let's talk about medical care.
Something happens. You're not, all of a sudden the doctor's saying he or she doesn't want to see you anymore.
Right.
Or there was discussion of a surgery or some other procedure,
they say that they can't give it to you.
They can't give it to you. So in other words, you're not just going from one appointment to the next and everything is proceeding in your treatment just fine. There's been some kind of hiccup in that treatment process.
And even if there isn't any kind of hiccup in the treatment process, at least for our clients, what we want is at the end of most of your appointments, particularly with the primary treating physician, you're going to get a piece of paper. It's a 1-page piece of paper. It's called a WC-164. It's down at the bottom of the corner, and it basically says when your injury was, your date of birth, what the date of the appointment was, what their assessment is, what their plan is, what your restrictions are, when the next appointment is. We love to get those 1-page pages, get them to us as soon as possible. Do not think that the insurance company or the doctor's office sends them to us, because sometimes or oftentimes they don't. Okay, so number 4 is if you get any sort of money from another source other than workers' compensation for your injury. So if you start getting Social Security disability, if you start pulling unemployment, if you, God forbid, file a lawsuit against the person who injured you and get money from them and don't let us know, and even worse, your attorney for your personal injury doesn't let us know, then it gets really, really bad. And so if you get any sort of money or benefits from another source because of your injury other than work comp, you need to let us know. And number 5 is kind of similar to if you move, but it's if you have to go on vacation, let us know. Just send us a brief email. If you've got even if you have to leave town for an emergency or whatever, just send us an email to let us know, hey, I stepped out. So,
Yes.
Because chances are that will be the weekend or the week we're trying to get a hold of you. You did very well, given that I completely sprung this on you.
Okay.
You're better, right? Good. I'll leave you to your mic and recording device. As always, if you or anybody you know has been injured in the state of Colorado for a work injury, then there is a law firm where we represent people who have been injured on the job here in Colorado, or if they got the job in Colorado and injured elsewhere, they may be covered under Colorado workers' compensation. Please, as always, feel free to come and talk with us. We offer free consultations. Our telephone number is 970-356-9898, and with that, happy Friday.